Ladies and gentlemen, Arsenal fans around the world, this is the breaking news we've all been waiting for. The Bruno Guimarães transfer saga is reaching its most decisive moment yet. Reports indicate that Arsenal and Newcastle United are now closing in on a full agreement for the Brazilian midfielder. After weeks of negotiations, discussions, speculation and countless rumours, this blockbuster move appears to be entering its final stages. Personal terms have reportedly already been agreed, and the remaining work focuses on finalising the payment structure between the two clubs. If everything proceeds as expected, Arsenal could soon announce one of the biggest Premier League transfers of the summer. Welcome back to Arsenal Daily Talk, your home for the latest Arsenal news, transfer updates, tactical analysis, and everything happening at the Emirates Stadium. If you're as excited as we are, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss another Arsenal update. Now, Arsenal fans, imagine walking into the Emirates Stadium on opening day and seeing Bruno Guimarães wearing the famous red and white shirt. Imagine Martin Odegaard leading the team out as captain, Declan Rice controlling the midfield, and Bruno Guimarães adding his creativity, aggression, and technical brilliance alongside him. That midfield could become one of the strongest not only in England, but across all of Europe. This isn't just another transfer rumour anymore. This story has developed rapidly over the past few days. Sources close to the negotiations suggest that both Arsenal and Newcastle United have made significant progress in discussions. While a few financial details still need to be finalised, confidence is growing that an agreement can be reached. Even more importantly, Bruno Guimarães is said to be fully committed to making the move to North London. For Arsenal supporters, that may be the biggest update of all. When a player of Bruno's quality makes it clear that Arsenal is his preferred destination, it changes the dynamics of the negotiation. Instead of convincing the player, Arsenal's focus becomes reaching the right agreement with Newcastle. And that is exactly where things stand today. The proposed transfer fee is expected to be worth between £70 million and £77 million, with additional performance-related bonuses potentially increasing the overall value of the deal. It's undoubtedly a major financial commitment, but Arsenal believe Bruno Guimarães is worth every penny. Why? Because this isn't simply about signing another midfielder. This is about signing one of the Premier League's most complete footballers. Bruno combines defensive intelligence, relentless work rate, elite passing range, exceptional ball control, leadership, and the ability to influence matches at both ends of the pitch. He doesn't disappear in big games. He embraces pressure. Whether it's a fierce battle against Manchester City, a North London derby against Tottenham, or a Champions League knockout match, Bruno consistently performs with intensity and confidence. That mentality is exactly what Mikel Arteta has been searching for. Over the past few seasons, Arsenal have transformed into genuine title contenders. But there have been moments when the squad lacked control in midfield during crucial matches. Arteta wants players capable of dictating the tempo under pressure, winning second balls, resisting the opposition press, and creating opportunities from deep positions. Bruno Guimarães fits that profile almost perfectly, and that's why Arsenal have pursued him with such determination. Let's not forget how difficult this transfer initially appeared. When the summer window opened, Newcastle were adamant they would not sell their captain. Club officials publicly expressed their desire to keep him, and many believed Arsenal had virtually no chance. After all, Newcastle viewed Bruno as the heartbeat of their project. He wasn't just another first-team player, he was their leader, their midfield engine, their emotional driving force. Losing him was never part of the original plan. But football changes quickly. As negotiations continued behind the scenes, circumstances evolved. One of the biggest turning points reportedly came when Bruno himself indicated that he was ready for a new challenge. That changed everything. Once a player expresses a genuine desire to move, clubs often have to reconsider their position. Instead of risking an unhappy captain, negotiations become the more practical solution. And that's exactly why this transfer has accelerated so dramatically. For Arsenal fans, this is the moment to pay close attention. The next few days could define the club's entire summer transfer window. One signature could elevate Arsenal from contenders to one of the strongest equipped squads in Europe. But there is still work to be done. the clubs must finalise the payment structure, complete the necessary paperwork and arrange the player's medical before any official announcement can be made. Until then, Arsenal supporters will be watching every update, every report and every development with growing anticipation. Because the dream of seeing Bruno Guimarães at the Emirates is no longer just a fantasy, it's becoming a realistic possibility, and if this deal crosses the finish line, it could be remembered as one of the defining transfers of Arsenal's modern era. But this is only the beginning of the story. In the next section, we're going to reveal why Mikel Arteta has made Bruno Guimarães his priority midfield target, how he could completely transform Arsenal's tactical system, and why rivals across the Premier League should already be paying close attention. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming. Before we continue, Arsenal fans, let me ask you one question. What if Bruno Guimarães is the final piece of Mikel Arteta's title-winning puzzle? Think about it for a moment. For years, Arsenal have steadily improved under Arteta. The club has strengthened the defence, added more quality in attack and built one of the most exciting young squads in Europe. But when you look at the biggest matches, one area has always attracted attention: the midfield battle. Championships are often won in midfield when Arsenal dominate possession, control the tempo and recover the ball quickly. They usually look unstoppable. But against elite opponents, the margins are incredibly small. One misplaced pass, one lost duel, or one moment of hesitation can change an entire match. That is exactly why Arteta has reportedly identified Bruno Guimarães as such an important target. Bruno is not simply a player who wins tackles. He is not simply a player who creates chances. He is not simply a player who presses aggressively. He does all of those things. That combination is what makes him one of the Premier League's most respected midfielders. Imagine Arsenal building from the back. William Saliba and Gabriel calmly move the ball forward. Declan Rice drops deeper to receive possession. Martin Ødegaard moves into space between the lines. Now add Bruno Guimarães to that picture. Instead of forcing risky passes, Arsenal suddenly have another midfielder capable of receiving the ball under pressure, turning away from opponents and driving the team forward. Those moments may look simple, but they are often what separates great teams from champions. Bruno also brings something Arsenal supporters love to see: personality. He never hides. He demands the ball. He encourages teammates. He competes for every challenge. Whether his team is leading or trailing, his intensity rarely drops. Those leadership qualities are difficult to measure with statistics, yet they often influence the biggest occasions. Another reason Arsenal value Bruno so highly is his versatility. Need a deep-lying playmaker? He can do it. Need a box-to-box midfielder? He can do it. Need someone to help protect the defence? He can do it. Need creativity from midfield? He can provide it. That flexibility gives Arteta far more tactical options across a long Premier League season, domestic cup competitions and European matches. Just imagine the possibilities. Against teams that defend deep, Bruno can help unlock compact defences with intelligent passing. Against physical opponents, he can match their intensity and fight for every second ball. Against elite European clubs, he has the composure to keep possession even when under relentless pressure. That balance is exactly what top clubs search for. Now let's talk about chemistry. Many Arsenal fans are already imagining what a partnership between Declan Rice and Bruno Guimarães could look like. Rice offers incredible defensive coverage, athleticism and ball-winning ability. Bruno adds technical quality, progressive passing and calmness in possession. Together, they could complement each other remarkably well. Then, ahead of them, Martin Ødegaard would have greater freedom to create chances and influence the final third. Suddenly, Arsenal's midfield becomes more unpredictable. Opponents would no longer know where the next attack is coming from. It could start with Rice, it could start with Bruno, or it could flow through Ødegaard. That variety makes defending against Arsenal much more difficult. Of course, bringing in a player of Bruno's quality also increases competition within the squad. Every training session becomes more intense. Every player must raise their level. Healthy competition often pushes great teams to become even better. That is another reason elite clubs continue investing in world-class talent. No player can afford to become comfortable. For Bruno himself, this move could represent the next major chapter of his career. He has already shown he can thrive in the Premier League. He understands the pace, he understands the physical demands. There would be no lengthy adaptation period compared to someone arriving from another league. That experience could allow him to make an immediate impact if the transfer is completed. But while Arsenal supporters are understandably excited, the club knows there is still work to do. Negotiations of this size are rarely straightforward. Payment schedules, performance-related bonuses and legal documentation all have to be finalised before contracts can be signed. That is why everyone inside Arsenal will remain focused until every detail is completed. Still, the mood around this potential deal is becoming increasingly optimistic. The reports of personal terms being agreed suggest that the player is ready. Now attention turns to the clubs reaching the finish line. Could Bruno Guimarães be wearing an Arsenal shirt very soon? Could he become one of the biggest signings of the Arteta era? Those are the questions Arsenal fans everywhere are asking right now. And in the next part, we'll dive into Newcastle United's perspective, reveal why their stance has reportedly softened, examine how the negotiations reached this stage, and explore the key moments that have brought this blockbuster transfer so close to reality. Stay with us, because the biggest twists in this story may still be ahead. Arsenal fans, let's look beyond the transfer fee for a moment. The real question is this: what does Bruno Guimarães actually bring to Arsenal? The answer is simple: vision, intelligence and control. Bruno is the type of midfielder who sees passes before anyone else. When opponents press aggressively, he remains calm, receives the ball under pressure and finds the right solution. Those qualities are exactly what Mikel Arteta wants in his midfield. Picture this: Declan Rice wins possession. He plays the ball to Bruno Guimarães. With one touch, Bruno turns away from pressure and delivers a perfectly weighted pass into Martin Odegaard's path. Seconds later, Arsenal are attacking at full speed. That is the kind of football Arsenal supporters dream of seeing every weekend, but Bruno offers much more than creativity. He brings leadership, he brings energy, he brings a winning mentality. These are qualities that cannot always be measured by goals or assists, but they often decide the biggest matches. If this transfer is completed, Arsenal won't just be adding another midfielder, they'll be adding experience, composure and a player who has already proven himself in the Premier League. Imagine an Arsenal midfield featuring Declan Rice, Bruno Guimarães and Martin Odegaard. On paper, it has the balance to compete with any team in England and challenge Europe's elite. Of course, the transfer has not been officially completed yet. The clubs still need to finalise the remaining details before any announcement can be made. But one thing is certain: if Bruno Guimarães arrives at the Emirates, expectations will rise immediately. Arsenal fans will believe that this squad has taken another major step toward competing for the Premier League title and making a deeper run in the UEFA Champions League. The excitement is building and the football world is watching closely to see whether this blockbuster move becomes reality. Arsenal fans, we've reached the stage of the transfer where every minute feels important. According to the latest reports, discussions are now focused on completing the final details between Arsenal and Newcastle United. While no official announcement has been made, there is growing optimism that the two clubs can reach a full agreement. The reported transfer fee is expected to fall between £70 million and £77 million, with performance-related add-ons potentially increasing the overall value of the deal. Once the remaining paperwork is completed, attention is expected to turn toward the next major step, the medical. As with any high-profile transfer, the medical process is a crucial stage. It involves detailed physical assessments and final administrative checks before contracts are officially signed. Only after those steps are completed can the club make an official announcement. For Arsenal supporters, that means patience is still required. Until the deal is confirmed by the clubs, every report should be treated as part of an ongoing negotiation rather than a completed transfer. But if everything goes according to plan, Bruno Guimarães could soon be preparing for his first training session under Mikel Arteta. Imagine that first day at London Colney.